Welcome, welcome. See, beauty in the timing. I got to talking about something and the memory card ran out of space and the video stopped at a very convenient point. So going back to this music event I went to. So you're in a domed structure and the group decided to do a group hug and spiral. So I'm seeing the yin and the yang. And that, in that symbol, is black and white. Seeing things in a very black and white way, but with the energies, the colours, you see, walking around that circular dance floor, or dancing around that circular dance floor, I'm moving in royal circles because I'm seeing their crowns. I'm not saying that they've all got crowns that are fully opened up, that they're there in potential. Some are tarnished, which reminds me of the name of this helmet you can put on, called the Tarnhelm in the Ring of the Nibelung by Wagner, and you can become anything you wish to be. In that story, Fafnir kills his brother Fasolt, two giants, and the surviving brother, this is a Cain and Abel story, then turns himself into a dragon and sits in front of a cave, and the gold hoard that he now has, it does nothing with it. What is the true wealth? It's not. What is the wealth to be backed with gold? What can you do with a physical gold? It looks pretty. You can't eat it, you can't drink it. It's heavy, difficult to guard, I would have thought, if you have a lot of it. But what about the true wealth, the true gold within? Wouldn't it be better to have a currency backed with your intention, with your random act of kindness? So those crowns open up and it does reflect and show the flower of life pattern. But in that dome, going out to have a smoke, I popped my head out the firmament, you could say. So I could see a very different world out there that was forgotten in there. You are titans. It's nothing to do with the physical, but in this physical play-out reality, we're acting small when we don't realise our power. So physically it's reflected that we're no longer, whatever it would be, 45 foot tall, or it doesn't matter. But energetically, we can be a giant, we can be a titan, we can be a king, we can move in royal circles in this way. We can create this vortex of energy. It is reflected everywhere. Look at the colour of my hair, for example. That's the body telling on the mind. So I can reveal, which I was leading to before the memory card cut out, that I am James A. Gray, originally, because you've got to go back to source. What does the A stand for, you're asking? No, listen again, James A. Gray. Again, don't look at the physical. Think of the classic E.T. Gray, big eyes. You have the pattern of being in the darkness to see the light. The eyes are absorbing, they're thirsty, they're wanting more. They're wanting to take in more spiritual knowledge. They have a huge cranial capacity in proportion to the body. You have a living Akashic record on which to draw, which is your life experiences. From the things you've been through that you've perceived as negative or bad, you can draw on those, as I've explained already in the Un-think-Abel, and about doing the inner work, facing the inner self. So I'm playing the part of Apollo because I'm trying to pull you low, because we're in upside down world. But I'm trying to to turn you to say, face yourself in the mirror. I'll stand alongside you while you do it, because I can tell you, the apple that's being offered, surely thou will not die. But this is the tree of life that I'm now pointing to. The reason I smoke is because I acknowledge my fire-breathing serpent dragon. So these videos, if I seem to go off on a tangent, it's because I am moving like a serpent. And I'm bearded, so I'm a bearded serpent, so I'm basically a dragon. I'm acting a role, acting many roles. If I'm John as the witness, if I'm Moses that's leading my people out, if I'm taking you back to source, if I'm going back to being as original James A. Gray, I'm being a serpent that now is offering you the other fruit. So you behold, your eyes are opened and they are like us. Consider this material realm and the whole idea and concept of secret societies and little people in little pockets all keeping an eye. What if the fear was of joining the realms of the gods, as it were, that if fallen angels can take the daughters of men and therefore sexually reproduce with them in that story, how would you tell a Titan from a new Titan? You know, what would be this distinction? Nothing again to do with the physical, I'm talking about the energetic. But it follows that pattern again. It starts in the metaphysical, it starts in the darkness, it comes into the light, into the cold light of day. So I'm offering you exits energetically that we can cause a Magdalena effect instead of a Mandela effect. We can switch the timeline. We can create a new reality. We can be in that dome. Mad Max 3, Beyond the Thunderdome. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Jacob and Esau again. Esau, the hairy man, comes out first because it's the external physical avatar man. Jacob is the smooth one, which is the soul. But if you have that alchemical marriage between the two, 2 men enter the Thunderdome, 1 man come out because you can see the world within a world. You can see the flower of life pattern being shown. Seeing it from a higher perspective. So imagine I'm now not walking amongst the royalty, I'm then going above the royalty and looking from a higher perspective, so I can see all these crowns starting to open up. I'm seeing the flower of life pattern as well. The life in the living is being shown in an energetic form. These cats know it and sense it. I don't have to stroke them for them to parrot. I just come near them. So they're showing me how far I have pushed the boundaries. Going back to what I was saying in the previous video, what's being displayed, Christ the Redeemer. So you're letting go of the negative aspect of the father who has focused on the business entirely, which has caused a neglect of the daughter, which reinforces the feeling of abandonment, which makes the clinging tighter, and then emulating and then going into a business. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not a criticism, it's just purely an observation. But the redeeming part of all of this, let's put it this way, if I know who I am, which I do, and I know I can co-create, I know I am a god and I am a titan and I am a giant and I am a watcher and everything else. And I recognize potentially that in all of you, like at this music venue. See how explosive that could be. Because if you want to know who I am, you would first, the requirement would be to know who you are and to actually really feel it. Because it would be reflected back. There would be no need for words. There would be that inner knowing. There would be playing the part of Noah. Then you get to play the part of Enoch, because if we can cause a Magdalena effect, we play the part of Enoch, and he was not. How do you interpret what is said in that biblical passage? What, he just vanished? He was taken? Taken where? I would suggest a parallel reality in a holosphere that looks exactly the same. There's no loss of anything except that sort of negativity or aspects that are more negative, so time would be collapsed. I feel this is reflected is why is Kundalini rising, or stages of it happening, no longer at the ages of 30, 60 and 90 with the Saturn return, but they're coming at the age of 25, they're coming at the age of 16, synchronization, the beauty in the timing, in the moment. We're brought here together now because we are the Titans. We always have been the Titans. We always have been the giants. We've just forgotten, that's all. So, yes, I am James A. Gray, and that is the part I play. Think also channeling. Going back to that again, this is a YouTube channel. It's information that is being channeled and it is being expressed externally. Channeling can be unknowingly, so displaying traits of narcissism from following those generational sins of man. The Linkin Park song, "We're a broken people living under loaded gun." We don't have to be. We don't have to pick up a gun. Would it even seem remotely possible that you could fight the metaphysical with the physical? Would it not be better to match and acknowledge that co-creating ability that you have as an individual and put it to God use, to good use? And let my people go, as it were, so to speak. But the attainment is to be the perfect being. So in that role, I could be, if I'm the one that shows the door, then I'm going to be the perfect gentleman and hold the door open for you all to go through. That is a pretty amazing thing. Also, with that flower of life pattern when viewing the crown chakras from above, you've got constellations, you've got stars. I'm noticing something's caught my eye about in the corner of the picture up there. That sort of light and the way it's coming down, that's not consciously deliberate. It's just the way the sun has moved. It's like the external is reflecting because I'm taking active steps. I feel spiritually, growth-wise, I'm taking giant footsteps. So could it be expressed as I have become a titan? I'm not proclaiming to be, and certainly not in the physical sense. What I'm saying is I'm inviting you to see a perspective, find that in yourself, recognize it and acknowledge it in yourself, and you walk tall in this world. You have amazing powers. You have You have different skill sets for all different roles. There's no one skill set better than the other. In some ways, it is about being first. The first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. So that comes into it. If I'm the first one to find the door, the I, as in because it's in this physical body. But I'm going to be the last through because I'm going to hold the door open. But when dealing with something that's outside the realm of time anyway, because we will stop time. We are Time Lords, we are Titans, we are playing all the parts. It's just how well can you play the part? How well can you become the part? Become that convincing to the outside world? It doesn't need to be expressed vocally and go around proclaiming, I am God, either. It's an inner knowing and an inner recognition when you find your soul family that is resonating on that same frequency. It is that synchronistic thought wave. The chronology, the chronos in the synchronicity. You're sinking because it's water going down the drain. But it's not going down, it's going down on the drain. It's plugging the gap. It's rebuilding a firmament, basically. It's then sealing the door, keeping everybody safe. Would not a father do that? So, you're redeeming a negative aspect to a biological father, that the focus is not with bad intentions. And it's probably generational sins being carried on. Thinking how to, the best way forward, rather than doing the Un-think-Abel and trying something radically different coming from the heart. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, so feeling you've got to work your way out of a situation is a prime example of that. How much energy and time are you going to expel? How much light is coming out of you and just being sucked away? That's the other side of the vampirism, as opposed to the absorbing the infinite, true light of the energy that comes through the eyes. I know because I've seen it, because I have experienced it yesterday. And I've seen that big apple. I've seen the picture of the phoenix from the collective energy. I've seen the benefactor phoenix. The one bit like a Roman thing with a phoenix above or as part of that crown, which is also a flower of life that just expands out. It's like you're all individualized suns, because you are suns. Nothing to do with the physical. It's nothing to do with this world, but it plays out on this world stage. You're here as an actor, as a creator, as an artist. You can be a painter, you can be a sculptor, you can be a producer, a presenter. You can be a dancer. I can admire the beauty of the choreography that you're doing in the moment, in that dance. How you're attuned to that music, how you're freely expressing, how everybody there was freely expressing. There was no, they can't dance. There was no judgment. It was a beautiful world to be in. But I'd like to capture that moment and play with time and stretch out, expand that kind of time, because we all get together as a family. One of the songs is We Are Soul Family, something on those lines. I can't remember the song, but I do remember the feeling. I do remember the collective energy of it. I was there, I witnessed, I experienced, I was part of it. But then I was able to come out of it to be a fire-breathing dragon and stand in the outside light as well, but then go back in again. So I'm doing like a seasonal thing, as it were, all enacted, whether I consciously know it or not. But if I observe what I'm doing and then able to weigh it up afterwards in reflection of it, and it's like, what a beautiful magical moment. What just happened here, really? Far more than I expected. Far more valuable in what it has shown, what I can share. I'm doing this for the most selfish of all reasons, because I am one, because we are one. I'm just proving this to myself, that we can create a vortex. We can go through that exit. It won't be water spinning down the drain. It will be going through into another timeline, and then being able to have a far more positive experience of this experience. Why would you want to deprive yourself of that? Deprived is depraved. You're de-praying. You're not praising yourself. You're not standing in your power, surely, if you're depriving and depraving and being depraved. Depraved dead, because it's past tense. It's in the past. Let it go. Be present in the present as a present, a gift to the world. Right, that's 22 minutes. This is the fourth video, I think it is, I've made today, but it's just flowing. But I'm going to put them out one at a time, one per day. To give you a chance, think of it as I'm serving you. I'm serving you courses. I'm serving you something, but I appreciate it takes time to digest. But this video is for when you watch it, or when you listen to it, when you wish to partake in this meal that is being on offer. So I am going to say unconditional love to you all.